And good evening from the underbelly of Blair Stadium here in Silver Spring. For Big Train TV, Tyler Gallo, myself, Ben Bobek, as the Big Train look to keep on rolling to Victory Station in Game 2 of this 2021 Cal Ripken Collegiate Baseball League season. Tyler, big win for the Big Train last night, 12-6 over Gaithersburg, and they look to keep the momentum going, like we said here, taking on the Silver Spring-Takoma Thunderbolts in Game 2.
Right, absolutely. Just an incredible win last night. A lot of scoring in short spurts. There's a lot of big run innings, a lot of errors that led to runs, and it was just a pretty interesting matchup on opening night, to say the least. Had a couple of funny moments out there as well, but the keynote slam in that game was the Austin Gauthier home run in the 8th inning that put the Big Train up to stay.
And what is coming off a win like that in game number 1 do for this team as they look to do the same in game number 2?
Well, I think they got all the momentum on their side, as the T-Bolts lost last night to the DC Grays 5-3. Now they're going to come in looking for a response game to that first exhibition game where they took a tough 7-6 loss as well. And they got a pretty interesting pitching matchup out there on the mound tonight as well.
Yeah, first of 8 matchups between these two teams. 5 of them will be played here at Blair Stadium as we take a look at our tonight's starters, presented by the Dandy Walker Alliance. Luke Baker, the tall lefty, takes the mound for the Big Train, while James Springer, another decently tall lefty, takes the rubber for Silver Spring.
Right, and these two guys are going to match up pretty well on the mound. Luke Baker had a pretty phenomenal inning earlier in the exhibition game, struck out the side and response inning after having a pretty shaky one before that. I'm looking for him to settle in and maybe go 3 or 4 tonight and then bridge it over to the bullpen.
And what about Springer? Anything you can tell us about the young local kid?
Springer actually had in just 4 games at Fordham this year, had a solid stat line. He had a 3.6 ERA and just was pretty solid coming out, mostly out of the bullpen, didn't pitch more than 5 innings in his starts or in his games that he played for Fordham this year. So he's going to look to maybe get some more work in out here for the Thunderbolts.
Dealing with a little bit of an elbow injury at Fordham, looking to get back into his rhythm throughout this summer with Silver Spring-Takoma, And Tyler, how about the Big Train offense? Again, 12 runs last night. What's the big key as they look to carry over that momentum here tonight?
I think the key is to just continue what they did last night and just keep moving forward, keep rolling on, moving on to the next station and going out there and keep scoring runs. And I'm going to have to go with a player to watch tonight, the hitter to watch tonight, and I'm going to go tonight with Kyle Velasquez. He's given a couple of balls rides, including last night. Ran into some hard luck last night by getting robbed on a couple of hits, but I think he's going to have a chance to do some damage here in a bit of a shorter field. There's 362 in the left center, 357 in right, and then 315 and 325 down the lines, respectively, here at Montgomery Blair Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually going to go in a different direction for my hitter to watch, a guy who's already provided a huge spark for this Bethesda Big Train offense. That's going to be their RBI leader, the first baseman, hitting in the 3-hole tonight, Nolan Shawnuel out of FAU. He's got a big bat, and if he can keep that going, the Big Train offense will keep on chugging. That will just about do it for the Gregorio's Trattoria pregame show here on Big Train TV. First pitch between the Silver Spring-Takoma T-Bolts and the Bethesda Big Train is next. Stay tuned.
On the campus of Montgomery Blair High School in Silver Spring, Maryland, it is Bethesda Big Train Baseball. They take on for their second straight road contest here against the Silver Spring-Takoma Thunderbolts, the team they took on in their first exhibition game. And we'll have to see how they do tonight as they take on a team that they are no stranger to. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, wherever you may be. Tyler Gallo, Ben Bobek here along with you at Montgomery Blair High School Stadium. And the Big Train, once again, are taking on the Silver Spring-Takoma Thunderbolts tonight, a team that they played earlier on this season and a team that they beat 7-6. Ben, it's going to be an interesting game to see tonight. Their second straight road contest. They're opening up their home season tomorrow night at Povich Field. What are you looking forward to from this team tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. And despite the fact that these teams played, like you mentioned, in that exhibition game at Povich Field just 4 days ago, these are two very different teams here in the second night of each of their regular seasons of this 2021 Ripken Collegiate Summer League. Of course, we've seen the addition of our good friend Diego Barrett over there in the Silver Spring-Takoma. But most importantly, these coaches on both sides have had a better chance to get to know their rosters, get to know their teams, their bullpens, their pitching staffs, and their offenses as well. they know a little bit more. They're a little bit more understanding of where they are. Both teams still missing a couple players as well as they try to as they're still waiting on a few players from the respective, different national championship games and everything. Still going on in college baseball, not necessarily full rosters, so a little short string, especially on the Big Train side. Not much of a bench there for Sal Colangelo to work with, but still plenty of hope between both of these sides as they come into this game here tonight.
All right, let's take a look at the Dandy Walker Alliance pitching matchup tonight. James Springer's going to get the start tonight for the Thunderbolts, and he'll be opposed by Luke Baker, the long lefty. He's out of Jacksonville, also Gainesville, Florida is his hometown. He's 6'6", and he's looking to just get out there and get some work in and gets a start. Maybe goes 4 and does pretty well. But Springer had a pretty solid ERA, 3.60 in 4 games. He struck out 5 and walked 6, so maybe a little bit of control problems in his little innings here as he tries to get a start here and warms up. So he's got Connor Palmieri behind the dish as his battery mate tonight, and leading off tonight for the Big Train is Austin Gauthier, who had a big home run yesterday.
Yeah, Gauthier, a little bit of a surprise maybe to see him up at the top of that Big Train batting order yesterday, but he really was a pleasant surprise starting things off for Colangelo and that Big Train offense last night. 2 very big hits, none bigger, like you said, than that 2-run home run to really cap off that tirade of runs for Big Train in that 12-6 win over Gaithersburg last night.
And they'll look to try to get back to Victory Station once more tonight, the Big Train, out here at Montgomery Blair Stadium, which reminds me a lot of a backyard baseball stadium with a fire station in left field, woods in center and right. So we'll see if anyone can hit the roof tonight.
Vinny the Gooch here with you on Big Train TV.
Sunny day, one of the better announcers in history. But for now, it's Austin Gauthier is going to lead off against James Springer as we get set for first pitch. Coming right up here on the Big Train TV. We are glad that you're all joining us tonight. Once again, Tyler Gallo and Ben Bobek here. We'll be with you all season long for almost every game this year. So get excited for some action here tonight. As a better team they're going to take on this tonight, a team that gave them a tough contest in their first exhibition game. And standing up at the plate tonight for the first batter of the game is Austin Gauthier.
2 for 9 on the season, shortstop out of Hofstra, as we've talked about before, in the transfer portal, looking to see where he's going to spend that extra year of eligibility.
And Springer's going to get the signs here for Palmieri. He's going to deliver to Gauthier, who can hope to expand on his night last night. And he gets set and delivers the first pitch for a ball in the dirt, and we're underway.
And we really, just to accentuate our position here, we're right below the camera angle, underneath the bleachers at Blair Stadium, as you saw in that pregame show. Really, probably the best angle we'll ever have on balls and strikes, but we can't voice our opinion too loudly.
Yeah, the umpires are standing right in front of us, so we'll have to see what goes on tonight, but that was a clear strike right there from Springer as he delivers to Gauthier and fouls that one back to the screen, and it's 1-2. And that's another thing that we're going to have to worry about tonight is the screen. Foul balls could land below us. It's not the 20-foot-high prison wall that was at Gaithersburg last night, but it's something that it could come into play later in the game as it's a 1-2 count now to Gauthier.
Should have brought my glove tonight.
Mine's in my car. And Springer delivers, swing and a miss, tipped into the mitt of Palmieri, and he goes down swinging, does Austin Gauthier for the first out of tonight's game.
Not the start Big Train offense was looking for, but pretty solid cut there from Gauthier.
Yeah, he was looking for that, maybe to hit onto that roof in left field, but unfortunately all he got was air and a little bit of the ball. And it tipped it right into the glove of Palmieri. But now here's Darius Foster, who stands in, the left fielder, wearing number 8. He's had some pretty solid at-bats and a lot of hits this season, and if he gets on, you know he's going. Springer gets the sign, delivers, and he's showing bunt, but that ball was inside a little bit, so it's going to be taken for a ball for the first pitch.
1 for 4 last night, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 3 runs scored, 2 stolen bases. Heck of an evening for Darius Foster, left fielder out of San Francisco.
Really filled out his bingo card as another pitch on the outside half, and it's 2-0 from the Fordham, the lefty out of Fordham, who is a local guy.
Southpaw versus Southpaw, BCC high school graduate, just like myself. Good guy. Overall, just great guy, James Springer.
Springer delivers that ball, is jammed up the first base line for Foster. He could beat this out, and he's going to be safe at first. An infield hit for Darius Foster as he's got speed to burn, and he uses it there.
It's a tough play for Brown, the first baseman there. I don't think Springer necessarily had the speed or angle to cover that, especially like you mentioned, with the really fast Darius Foster sprinting down there. Brown tried to almost slide into the first base bag to try to get his foot there and apply the tag. But a healthy infield single there for Darius Foster.
And that'll bring up a guy who is on fire right now, and Nolan Shanuel up to the dish, the Florida Atlantic player, as Foster is on first base, and he's got a lead. We'll see if he's going here, as rightfully checking on the runner at first base.
Somebody read the scouting report. Throwback on the first pitch.
Right, and even with the throwback, we could still see him going. You never know.
Oh, I never said the throwback's going to stop him. I just said you got to make sure to check on him the first pitch, because both of those stolen bases last night he went on the very first pitch. And
Not
this time
going here.
Takes his secondary lead and stays over there at first base.
Not going here, maybe trying to throw a wrench into the scouting report a little bit. But for Shanuel, he had a great day at the plate yesterday and before. So he's going to look to extend that into the second game of the season in a new stadium.
2 RBIs last night.
So we got our dimensions to the field right now. 315 down the line, 325 down the left field line, 315 down in right, 357 in right center, and 362 in left center. So there goes Foster. A swing on a miss. The throw down by Palmiera goes into center field, and Foster's going to go to third. And he'll get there close to without a throw, but the throw comes in, not even close. So it's going to go stolen base and an error on the catcher there, Palmiera.
Yeah, it's a tough play. I thought overall pretty good throw, good line there from Palmiera. Just a couple too many hops in front of, I think it was Levin covering there from second base. Actually, it might have been Oxia, the shortstop. You gotta get a glove on those. You can't let those trickle into the outfield grass and give Darius Foster an extra base. He's already taken one on you. You can't allow him to get to third as easily as he just did. And now Big Train 90 feet away from their first run of this game.
Count runs 2-1 as Shanuel has a runner in scoring position now. Here's the pitch from Springer inside, 3-1. Shanuel just looking to get another run batted in this season on the young campaign, and it's been just a great campaign for him thus far.
Yeah, counting, of course, those exhibition games, he's just been a machine in that 3-hole.
As he chops that one up the first base side, that'll get a run in at least. The Brown will take the easy out over at first, so it's going to be a fielder's choice ground out, but an RBI there for Shanuel nonetheless.
Yeah, lefty, it's a little bit easier to pull the ball there down the first base side, and that's exactly what they needed in that situation. Just good execution there in situational baseball by Nolan Shanuel to give the Big Train a 1-0 lead here in the first.
And the theme we've seen in 3 of the 4 games thus far, first inning runs for the Big Train, but as Rocco Pepe steps in here, nobody on here to drive in. Except himself as he cracks that one to center field. Coming on is the center fielder Carboni, and it's going to bounce in front of him for a base hit. So Pepe is aboard with a single, and that's a single sandwich. 2 singles in this inning so far for the Big Train. Run comes across the score, and Pepe is aboard. So that'll bring up Matt Thomas, the catcher. Playing catcher today. We've seen him in center field a few times in the exhibition games, but the battery mate of the pitcher yesterday in the starter, or one of the relievers, in Matt Howitt. But Springer, tough ask here on the mound.
One of 3 William and Mary guys on this roster.
It's taken for a strike. Nice pop of the mitt there for Palmiera. On first base is Rocco Pepe out of Long Beach State. Gave a ball a ride right up in the air to center field. That's on the outside half, and it's 1-1. Or 2-1, excuse me. I'm not sure if they have the count right out there on the scoreboard. But I believe it is 1-1 as Springer delivers the one on offering. Outside half, and it's 2-1. It says 3-0 out on the scoreboard, but I can't say that's correct because I believe the umpire called a strike on the first pitch.
I'll go with your gut. I trust you, Tyler.
So Thomas,
I believe in you.
He's got the 2-1 offering, and it maybe won't matter if he makes contact here as it's roped down the first base side. That's going to go foul. Just foul. That was certainly close there, but the first base umpire calls it foul. So Pepe getting his steps in on the day. It has to go back to first base, and Thomas has to saunter back into the dish.
Little pep in his step down there, sauntering back to first base.
So hopefully Thomas can make his best Ernie Steele impression. Pablo Sanchez here at this backyard baseball field with, I guess, a 2-2 count. We don't know what the correct one is, but Springer has the offering, and he delivers outside, and that's a full count. So we were right on our count right there. As
They must be very confused up there in the Blair Stadium booth.
it's a hard job up there, so I'm not going to discount them at all. Well, now the full count offering, payoff pitch, delivers, runner goes, and that's going to be ball 4, so no need to throw down as Thomas is aboard with a walk.
And this is what the Big Train offense does so well, is moving the lineup, keeping things going, getting the next guy an at-bat. That's how you string together innings like this, and that's how you bring home runs in bunches like they managed to do last night. I mean, you get 2 pretty quick outs in your first 3 batters of the day, and it doesn't really matter because now you've got 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position, and a pretty dangerous guy in Jack Cohn at the plate.
Right, stone cold Jack Cohn as Springer steps off the mound, and we'll get back in and go over the signs once again with Palmieri. So the first pitch now to Jack Cohn, no relation to David Cohn, former MLB pitcher. Springer delivers, that's right down Broadway for strike 1. If he keeps the inning going, Kyle Velasquez would be next.
Kyle Velasquez, your offensive player to watch on the day?
Springer delivers and another strike, and it's 0-2. Popping that mid of Palmieri with 2 strikes right there and a couple of fastballs right down the middle. So maybe sitting on some soft stuff here. Don't know, not too sure what's going through Cohn's head up there at the dish. But for now, it's the 0-2 offering from Springer. And he delivers, breaking ball outside, ball 1.
I mean, that's the really cool thing about this perspective for us, Tyler. Straight behind home plate, behind the netting, of course, safe and sound back here. But we can really see the break on these balls. That one started inside, finished about 2 balls off the plate outside on Jack Cohn.
As Cohn pops that one up on the infield, that should be an infield fly right there as it's caught by the shortstop Gauthier for the 3rd out. The Big Train get 1 to come across, but that's all they get as they lead it 1-0 heading into the bottom half of the 1st. Back here at Montgomery Blair Stadium is Luke Baker set to take his first outing of the regular season. And he's got Matt Thomas behind the dish. And leading off for the Thunderbolts is going to be Justin Carboni. Carboni, leading off tonight, playing in center field. Carboni is out of University of Pennsylvania. He's a Quaker. And he's a junior there, and he's from Washington, D.C., so a local kid.
Yeah, on the rubber tonight for Sal Colangelo, Big Train's very own big unit, the 6'6 lefty out of Gainesville, Florida. Did have a little stop in Phoenix where, similar to another Big Train pitcher, he developed an unfortunate affinity for the Arizona Diamondbacks, so has named Randy Johnson as his favorite player, and as a 6'6 lefty, you can totally understand it as he powers strike one by Carboni.
And there's that fastball that we've heard so much about. This guy was one of the top recruits out of Florida, initially committed to Ole Miss, but then committed a bit closer to home to Jacksonville as he delivers the 0-1 as that's fouled back towards us in the screen, and he's just pumping
No
that
getting used to that one.
Nope, I ducked out of the way of that one, even though there's a net and bleachers in front of us. So Carboni quickly 0-2 now. Two of just absolute pumping of fastballs into the zone there from Baker, and he's got a similar delivery to Randy Johnson's. That's half swung up the first base side for a foul ball.
Silver Spring-Takoma, first base coach down there, pointing fair. That would be incorrect, sir.
Maybe trying to influence the umpires right behind him, but for now it's still 0-2. They'll do it again. I love how the scoreboard says Guest and Blair. We're not playing Blair tonight, says probably Coach Colangelo's. That's fouled back once again towards us, and just waiting for the first one to come back behind us and land in front of us like it did in warm-ups.
I'm ready.
My glove is in my car, unfortunately.
No glove needed. We're barehanded tonight.
Baker, once again 0-2. Breaking ball in there for a ball. A little bit high. Great pitch, though. Maybe a setup one there.
Yeah,
you never know.
Really good. I think that was the two-seam, perhaps. Two-seam or a changeup.
And once again, foul back. Oh, that hit somebody in the dugout. I believe in the helmet. Or just close to him.
I mean, these dugout fences are not protective. It was quite the opposite, like you said, of that massive protective barrier we saw last night in Gaithersburg.
Yeah, and that hit, I believe, in the dugout. The on-deck hitter, Jason Neff, or excuse me, in the hole hitter, Jason Neff. So there's another ball, and it's 2-2. It's Carboni, who's now turned it into a pretty good at-bat.
Yeah, a couple foul balls in there as well.
Baker, and he swings and misses on that one. Nice breaking pitch there from Luke Baker, there's one down.
Yeah, there's that wipeout slider from Luke Baker. 3-pitch arsenal, two-seam fastball, changeup, and slider. And, you know, for Carboni, that's an interesting scenario. Because, you know, you started out 0-2, you fouled off a couple pitches, you worked it to 2-2. That's a big thing for a leadoff pitcher. You want to let the hitters in the dugout see some pitches, and he did that. Obviously not happy with the way it ended, but still, you did your job for your team.
Absolutely, and the two-seamer swung on a miss there by Dale Hauser for the first pitch of this at-bat, and Baker has got that glove like Andy Pettit would, just stare down. Nice intimidation. That's fouled once again back, and
this one's almost in the danger zone.
Just fouling a lot back. They're behind a little bit on these pitches from Luke Baker.
And with the guy who throws as fast as him, takes just a little bit off. You're just a little bit off, and you're just not going to get as much of the ball as you need to.
In the dirt, and that gets a nod of approval from Thomas behind home plate. So no shift here on the infield, is straight up, but Pepe is a little bit in at third base. Maybe hoping for a pull hit here from Dale Hauser, third baseman. Hit to his counterpart as that's inside, ball 2. 2-2 now.
Yeah, that's another tough pitch there. I think that was a slider again. Almost similar to the one that Carboni was able to lay off. Started outside, breaking back over the plate just a little too low.
As that is grounded into the first base side for a base hit, and Dale Hauser is aboard. Hit that one through the vacated spot over there on the infield.
Yeah, just a nice little spot for that one between Shawnul and Velazquez. And, you know, like you said, no shift on for the Big Train. Don't necessarily have the same amount of data points that a lot of the MLB teams that have made the shift so prevalent would have. And who knows, maybe we'll see an adjustment next time Dale Hauser steps to the plate.
Right, but for now, it's Christian Mesada wearing number 42, Jackie Robinson's number, and less importantly, Mo Vaughn, and also Mariano Rivera, more importantly.
You go to Mo Vaughn before Mariano Rivera.
I had Mariano Rivera in my head, and I was just going to mess with you there with Mo Vaughn. Another Mo. 2 Mo's wore 42. Butch Husky wore it as well. As Baker delivers the pitch in the dirt, that's going to get away, and going down to second base on, I believe that's going to be a wild pitch, is Dale Hauser.
It's a tough break there for Thomas. Pitch in the dirt and off either the top of his shin guard or like the side of his foot, and just caromed all the way towards Coach Sal over there in the big train dugout. Getting back to what I was saying about the fence, I mean, Coach Sal, not exactly the most vertically gifted man. Gifted in the ways of baseball, of course.
It's taken up high for ball 2, and it's 2-1. So
But
2 ball counts on every hitter so far.
The fence barely reaches his midriff. I mean, it is not protective. And, I mean, especially on, when your team's at the plate, all of the Silver Spring-Takoma players are hanging on the edge of the fence, as you'd expect, supporting their teammate.
So that's cracked into left field for a base hit, and that's and rounding third and heading for the plate is Hauser. Foster not even going to give it a chance. Throws. It's cut off by Gauthier, and an RBI single for Christian Mesada ties this game at 1.
And now all those unprotected Thunderbolts can celebrate.
These dugouts are certainly like the ones at some old stadiums where they just, without the fence, they would just be carved into the ground. I think of the Metrodome that had dugouts like that, old Qualcomm for the Padres as well. Similar dugouts there. Obviously, those are long gone as we get the rise of new stadiums in the major leagues. But for now, Jason Neff stands up at the dish. Check swings, and that's going to be called a strike, 0-1. The RBI single for Mesada ties this game at 1 as a couple of fire trucks are backing into the garages over there in left field. Baker looks at the runner, delivers the pitch, swung on and miss, strike 2. Baker wearing those orange shoes, not sure where the orange comes from, but
I think you commented on those last time, too.
The 0-2 delivering. And that gets away and actually hit Jason Neff, and now 2 runners on and just 1 out. And that'll bring up Connor Palmiero, the catcher. Just got away a little bit there from Matt Thomas and Luke Baker and hit the foot of Jason Neff, who's been hit twice now, once with a foul ball and now with an actual ball, an actual pitch. Baker looks back, sets and delivers. And a strike right in there for strike 1.
Yeah, and Baker had a really interesting outing in his 1 appearance in the 2 exhibition games against these very same T-Bolts. Pitched the 2nd and 3rd inning. Got a little roughed up. 3 hits, 1 run. Stranded the bases loaded for Silver Spring.
Breaker in the dirt there, and it's 1-1. Yeah, just and then he came out and struck out the side.
And then he came out in the 3rd inning, his 2nd inning of work, and pumped 3 straight strikeouts. So interested to see how he adjusts after this inning. First of all, how he gets out of this inning, to focus on the task at hand first. And then how he adjusts in the next inning, and then the inning after that.
That's grounded up the middle. Taylor made their first base, and that's going to be a double play. 4-6-3 on the double play.
And that's how he gets out of the inning.
Side retired. So 1 comes across the score on a pair of singles, but nothing more, as the Silver Spring-Takoma Thunderbolts tie this one up at 1 after 1. Big Train back to the plate and leading off is my hitter to watch tonight. Kyle Velasquez stands in now. Hasn't come up to the plate yet, but he'll do battle here with James Springer. Not George.
7-8-9.
I'm so sorry.
Here in the top of the second.
Big Train looking to respond to that run.
See if the bottom third of this Big Train order can turn things over and put together another piece of rally.
That one sizzles in there, but that's a ball. Most of these guys on the top step of the dugout over on Tacoma's side are pretty dangerous. As that's crushed into deep center field. Going back on the track at the wall. That ball is going to one-hop the fence. And rounding first and heading for second is Velasquez. He's going to take a big turn, and he's going to go to third. The throw in is offline. Velasquez is going to make it to third base. I believe that's going to stand as a double and an error. As Velasquez leads off this inning already in scoring position. He gave that ball a ride up to the 362 sign in center field. Bounced off the wall.
I don't know. I'm really tempted to put that as a triple in my book because it wasn't necessarily an error. I think they were just trying to get the ball in, and there was nobody there really to cut it off and make that relay throw.
We'll have to see what the official scorer says. Is
either way,
it looks like he put the brakes on and then stopped back up, so maybe they'll call it a double.
Either way, no better way to start off an inning than having your leadoff guy standing 90 feet away from regaining the lead.
That ball crackles in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. So Velasquez will be scored a double and then an error.
Agree to disagree, official score.
Outside half, and it's 1-1.
The official score also does say that it's 2-1, so that would be incorrect.
I believe that would be the error on the center fielder, so that's an E8 for those scoring at home. As that ball's fouled back towards us, and we're getting close. It's getting close to coming down towards us in the dugout. But for now, 1-2 now to Brady Gump. And he's going to look to run all the way around the bases. Springer got a quick 1-2 count.
I see what you did there.
Delivers.
Took me a second, I'm not going to lie.
Lined right at shortstop, and that's going to be an easy handle, or excuse me, second base, easy handle for No 11 out there at second base.
That's the sort of kind of unfortunate break we saw a little bit from Velasquez, as well as the man coming to bat now, Ryan Doherty, last night. A really hard hit ball, good contact, straight at Levin at second base.
But hey, how Doherty can easily just go against everything he did last night with a big knock here to drive in a run. And he's the DH once again.
That. Yeah.
We all love that. Breaker inside. Oh, nasty pitch there from James Springer. Got my Springs mixed up as Jeffrey Springs is a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, I believe. Doherty standing at the plate. Swings and misses a late swing there on the breaking ball as he tipped it into the mitt, and it's 0-2. And still standing there at third base is Kyle Velasquez. And swing and a miss. Strike three there for Ryan Doherty, and 2 outs now, and they'll turn the lineup card over for Austin Gauthier. So runner in scoring position woes continue here for the Big Train.
It's really remarkable. When you score 12 runs, you're looking at the line score, you're looking at the scorecard after the game, and you see, holy cow, they left 12 more runners on base. I mean, that is something.
And a lot of the runs scored on errors or missed plays. That's really just what it was. No driven in here as Gauthier stands in and takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Spring's just firing into the zone almost at will.
I mean, 12 runs on 11 hits and 12 runners left on base last night.
That's a lot. That's a lot of runners. So that's popped straight up in the infield. Settling under it is the first baseman, Brown, coming over and calling off the catcher, Palmieri, and that's going to be out number 3. So Velasquez gets all the way to third to lead off the inning, but nothing more comes across as the game is still knotted at 1. after the big train continue their runners in scoring position woes in the top half of the second. Bottom half of the second starts off with first baseman Marcus Brown, who stands in here. Brown had that final out of the inning settle into his mitt. Popped out. Austin Gauthier did. Baker delivers his first pitch inside, up and in. Ball one.
I wanted to back out of that one. Nonetheless, Brown.
And it didn't look too close from here, but, never can be too careful, especially after what happened to Kevin Pillar. That's
and
outside.
Austin Voth.
Yeah, and Austin Voth. And I believe Bryce Harper had it happen to him earlier in the season as well.
Yep.
Always a scary moment when someone gets hit in the face. I'd liken it back to Giancarlo Stanton, which might be the worst one I've seen. Baker, 2-0 now. That's foul back towards us. That one, as we're talking about getting hit in the face, comes back towards our faces.
See the net rattling on that one. Took a sharp dive there.
So Brown gets a first strike now as it's 2-1. Baker delivers, moving fast like he did in the games, in the exhibition game, and it's 3-1. So hitters count here for Marcus Brown. Baker gets the sign here from Thomas, setting up low. That's crushed, but right into the mitt of Kyle Velasquez for the first out.
It's a good out there. Get behind the hitter a little bit. Stay in there. Fire one straight over the plate for him to hit. Let him hit it straight to your fielder.
And that's back-to-back innings with an L4, as Brady Gump did it the last inning. That's chopped right to Velasquez again. He'll settle it. Throw to first in time for the second out. So 2 quick outs here for Luke Baker in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, busy inning for Kyle Velasquez as well. Getting the steps in, keeping those feet active.
Getting his actions here, but stepping up to the plate is Dylan Oxier out of Maryland Eastern Shore. Oxier, 6 foot, 185. Bats left, throws right. And he's from Pasadena, Maryland.
Yeah, I don't think Eastern Shore got to play this past spring. So good for him to, kind of get his feet back under him here in competitive baseball.
That first pitch is up a bit high for ball one. Not sure what the PA announcer just said, but Baker's going to deliver anyways.
I think they're having some sort of raffle here tonight at Blair Stadium. Brooks Robinson Orioles bobblehead.
Oh.
I might have to throw in for that.
Yeah, throw in on my behalf as well. As Baker throws another ball outside, and it's 2-0.
Maybe I'll just let you do this inning by yourself. I'll go grab a hot dog, too.
Grab me one while you're at it. Last night we had the chance.
I don't want to distract you while you're hard at work.
Well, we'll wait for in-between innings for that. As that one crackles in there again for a strike, so Luke Baker hits that strike zone finally here in this at-bat. Baker moving very fast. Gets the 2-1 offering. That's up high, and it's 3-1. So back-to-back 3-1 counts, back-to-back hitters counts, and Oxier just hoping for a better fate than his counterpart in the lineup.
Not to correct you, but it was Brown who had the 3-1. There was that quick out to Levin in between. I say not to correct you, but I did correct you.
A half swing to first base, the grounder right to the first baseman, Shanuel, and he throws him out at first base as Baker covers. And it's a quick 1-2-3 inning, the first of the day for either side, as the big train and Tacoma T-Bolts are tied after 2. James Springer on for his third inning of action, just allowing that one run. And the first man to face him will be Darius Foster after Austin Gauthier popped out to first base as the last batter for the big train. And Foster will look to change that fate here as he had a single and scored his last time up and had a stolen base as well.
Third stolen base of the year for Foster. Ended up on third.
Crazy legs.
After crazy legs, Foster. After the throw in crazy 8, maybe.
That's a good one. Breaker bends way outside for ball 1. Foster out of San Francisco has a couple of teammates on this squad as that's outside once again. It's 2-0. Crazy 8 Darius Foster. We'll come up with a bunch of nicknames this year for people as we get to know him better. That's
like
fouled
that.
off his foot and never good.
He went straight down to the ground there. That did
Always
not look like it.
Always painful, and he'll try to walk it off. Never feels good to foul one off your foot. I've never had it happen to me personally, but nonetheless, just a painful moment.
Christy Voigt, big train trainer, and her assistant on to check on Foster here.
Foster's smiling over there, though, so he looks like he's going to take his turn at bat and stay in the game. Not sure who's available off the bench tonight for the big train.
I mean, we've seen how this short bench already has affected Coach Sal's roster decisions. I don't think Ryan Doherty is his first choice designated hitter.
Right, and we know
Doherty has put in an admirable shift there last night and so far here tonight.
But Foster swings and misses for strike 2.
Not his position of strength, so to say. I mean, he's listed as a pitcher.
Right, they don't really have any extra hitters on their bench tonight. As the breaking ball is popped way up there, hoping for a play is the catcher, Paul Miera, and that's going to go out of play. We know exactly who's available out of the pen tonight. I'm just shocked, utterly shocked that Matt Howard is available out of the bullpen tonight after last night.
Got to get him right sometime.
Exactly, as Foster takes this one up high, and it's a full count. Last night, obviously, the pitchers, Barron, Carbajal, Hout, and Metz. Barron, Carbajal, and Metz are not available as that's grounded up the first base side. Going to be a tough play once again, and Foster's going to beat it out. A very similar play to the first inning, and another infield hit for Darius Foster. Wow. Just all you can say on that is wow.
2 infield hits straight to the first baseman, 2 singles for Darius Foster. And, you know, maybe we don't see him take off as quickly with that foot still maybe stinging a little bit from that foul ball.
You never know with Crazy 8 out there on the dish, but up to the plate now is Nolan Shanuel, who grounded into a fielder's choice to the first baseman his last time up. But the runner did come in to score as the
sacrifice RBI there.
Large lead from Foster on first base.
Third of the young season.
Throw over. Oh, great stop there by Marcus Brown to save that from potentially getting Darius Foster to second base.
Marcus Brown got himself a snow cone there. Snagged that one out of the air.
Springer flashes a smile there.
Hey, thanks, bud.
Throws over at first base as that's outside, but called a strike.
Careful there.
A little bit. That was definitely close. That was. I'll take that one as a strike. That caught the outer edge of the plate as Shanuel takes the next one as that's popped up way up there in the left fielder. Left fielder Martin under it makes the catch, and Foster will have to get back to first base. Shanuel just got a little bit under that ball. Good one to hit, though. Pepe standing in at the plate now, a dirtbag out of Long Beach State. His last time up, he had a single and got all the way to second base before the inning was over. Pepe, as Foster goes, that's way outside. A throw, not even going to try it as Foster once again steals second base.
Yeah, That's a really tough play to sit on as a catcher.
It's just funny because everybody knows he's going. And
It took him a whole batter this time.
yeah,
Got to let that foot heal.
absolutely. As Pepe hopes to drive him in here with a runner in scoring position, just 1 out. To end the woes here as Springer delivers the ball. Going to third as that ball is hit way up into right field. Coming on as the right fielder calls off the second baseman and makes the catch there, Christian Mesada. And that's the second out of the inning. But that'll bring up Matt Thomas, the catcher.
Yeah, Thomas is, I think, probably the most intriguing guy in this heart of the Big Train roster in the 3-4-5. Mostly because Shanuel and Pepe both have kind of contributed decently so far. And Thomas, you know, he's gotten it done as a base runner, 2 walks, reached on an error, scored twice last night, had a single in the 9th inning.
There's Foster. The throw down is in time to get him. Oh, no, did he call him safe?
I think he beat the tag there.
So a
Good
great
throw. Just a little bit of a slow tag. I think Foster got that right leg, the way he was extended, of course. Left leg tucked in and bent.
And that's
right
a pair.
leg outstretched.
That's
Just got that right leg to the bag before the tag got him.
Very close play, certainly, but a good throw regardless. 3 stolen bases in this game for Darius Foster as Thomas swings and misses at the ball on the outside half, and it's 0-2.
Death, taxes, Darius Foster getting the third base on the base paths.
And it looks like Matt Bedford's going to get up in the bullpen for the Big Train.
Those are the only guarantees in life.
Absolutely. And that's taken for a ball, and it's 1-2. So not sure how long the rope is today for Luke Baker, but Matt Bedford warming up regardless. And swing and a miss. So another runner in scoring position as looking at the Big Train dugout is James Springer as he struts off the mound and gets another scoreless entering under his belt. Still 1-1 in the middle of 3. And I have a word for our sponsors up next. Luke Baker once again taking the mound for the Big Train after a 1-2-3 inning his last time out, and leading off his Sweet Life of Zach and Cody fame, Zach Martin. Not actually him, but, you know. Gotta get those mentions in there when I can. inside. And
number 17 in white here looks pretty small for the offensive guard for the Dallas Cowboys.
That's called a strike.
University of Notre Dame.
And it's 0-1. And that's a ball, and it's 1-1. Maybe a bit of a groan there from Luke Baker on the mound. Bottom of the third here at Montgomery Blair Stadium. 1-1 the score. That's right down Broadway for strike two. Pops that one back and foul, and it's out of play. And they'll do it again. The woes that I've said so many times today continue for the big train with runners in scoring position. Yet again, stranded at third base. And that's inside. It hit him in the back and headed to first base with a free 90 feet is Zach Martin.
Second batter, Warren, who's worn one off the arm of Luke Baker. We'll see if Zach Bedford down in the left field pen maybe starts to pick up the pace of his warm-up inning.
He was up and throwing.
Stretching out that right arm.
Right,
flexing it a little bit.
He was warming up hard in the last inning, but now just stretching and tossing. As Baker now battling gets a bunt down, and it's a good one. And they're not going to get him at first, so an infield hit there for Justin Carboni on the bunt, and gives himself up and gets himself a base hit.
It's a beautiful, beautiful bunt from Carboni. My only question there, it looked like Baker looked to second as he came up with the ball. And in situations like that, you don't have time to do that. You have to know, all right, the ball, it was a great bunt. I got to get this ball, get it over to first, and try to get at least one as soon as possible.
And that's why he's the leadoff hitter, speeding down the line and getting to first base. But now it's Dale Hauser who came around to score on a single his last time up. A wild pitch got him.
Sean Yule cheating in a couple feet onto the infield grass.
Another bunt.
Charging as the bunt's laid down to the third base side.
And another good one, and they'll get the out at first base.
Good rotation there with Velazquez coming over to corner to cover, pardon me, with Sean Yule charging hard.
So the sacrifice works as expected. Gets the runners over, and that'll bring up Christian Mesada, who drove in a run his last time up.
And now has a chance to drive in two.
So let's see if the woes are extrapolated onto the Thunderbolts here, as Baker is in a pressure cooker situation. Looks back on the runner at second and delivers the pitch. Inside and hits him again and loads the bases. So that's 3 hit by pitches today for Luke Baker, and the control eluding him a little bit here in the third inning. Jason Neff now due up, the DH. Neff, his last time up, was hit by a pitch, and the way this inning is going, we'll have to see what happens here. As
Matt Thomas.
Yeah, good job.
Have a word with him, pitching coach, the big train on the top step as well.
And it looks like Bedford's going to throw a little bit harder up there in the bullpen. Bullpen catcher headed out there now is Zach Locke. Above us, they're playing We Will Rock You in the stands on the bleachers. Baker delivers. Inside again, and it's a strike, called a strike. Leaned out of the way of that one, but that one was on the corner. 0-1, and good call there from the home plate umpire. Baker stares in and delivers the pitch. Outside and high, 1-1. Baker wearing the goggles reminds me a lot of Eric Gagne out there on the mound. Certainly would love to get a strikeout like he did so many times in his legendary 2002 season. I believe it was 2002 where he won the Cy Young. Breaking ball in there and a great pitch from Baker, and it's 1-2.
It's a great reference from you.
Eric Gagne entering to welcome
Not
the
a Met.
jungle. I love Eric Gagne, dude. Entered to Welcome to the Jungle. Game over. 83 consecutive saves. That breaking ball is on the outside half, and it's 2-2. Broken by former national Chad Tracy, who I believe is an alum of Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, Baker with a 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A big strikeout there from Luke Baker. And now there's 2 outs, and the runners are still standing on second and third. Or, excuse me, the bases are still loaded.
Massive, massive strikeout there from Luke Baker.
So all signs are pointing to Bedford coming in for the next inning, and this is the last batter that Baker will likely face. It's Connor Palmiero, the catcher, who grounded into a 6-4-3 double play his last time up. Baker
Just
delivers,
need one
and that's
this time.
grounded to second. Should be easy enough there. Fires first in time, and out of the situation is Luke Baker. Some great pitches, gets out of it. Fist bump from his own catcher, Matt Thomas.
Yeah, that's simply just huge to get out of that jam. You know, similar to what we saw in that exhibition game. Worked himself into the bases loaded, but no runs allowed in that inning. He's going to walk back to the dugout a little bit happier there, a little more pep in his step.
Bit scary there on the bases loaded situation, but nothing comes across. And next we have a word from our sponsors. Or next we have the break. We'll see you for the top half, or bottom half of the fourth. Center fielder Jack Cohn leads off this inning for the 4th inning of work from James Springer. Cohn, his last time up, popped out to short and tries to get down a bunt, much like the guys did on the T-Bolt side, and that misses inside. Ball 1, pulls it back. Cohn, out of William & Mary. The evolution of his facial hair was just incredible, and his hair during his time at William & Mary's. That's looped in the air, shallow center coming on as a center fielder. Carboni to make the catch for the first out. So Jack Cohn retired once more.
It was interesting. You know, I'd love if he was still at the bat to tell this story, but it was interesting the way he described it, especially the facial hair element, where he was almost at one time sporting a Raleigh Fingers-esque mustache.
Good reference. Velasquez takes one inside. Ball 1 at the knees. Literally at the knees.
He said that there was a senior, his freshman year at William & Mary, there was a senior on that roster who did a similar sort of thing with the facial hair. And the guys loved it, and he just loved how, you know, he interacted with the rest of his teammates and with the team overall. And that's something he wanted to emulate, so he started with the facial hair.
And certainly growing into a lot of flow out there as Kyle Velasquez takes another ball on the outside half, and it's 2-0, and that's inside and hits him in the foot, and he will go down to first base.
Yeah, shaking that one off a little bit.
So
Is that
more.
5 total hit by pitches?
I believe
There's
that's
4.
4 hit by pitches now.
I thought there was one more Big Train player who had been subject to it.
So now Brady Gump, who lined out to second his last time up. Runner at first is Kyle Velasquez. Springer looking back at him and gets the bunt down, but goes foul, and it's 0-1. Popped it straight up there behind home plate. So we'll get the sign from the third base coach. We'll see if the bunt is on once more. As Gump in for his second at-bat of the day. Springer looks over at the runner at first base. Runner doesn't go. It's outside. Maybe a pitch out there, but can't really tell if that was just one that missed. So it's 1-1 now from Springer to Brady Gump. Gets in there with his tannish white mitt and throws over to first base. A bit high, but handled easily by Marcus Brown there, which he did pretty impressively earlier on in this game. Cut off a pretty bad throw. Runner goes, and that's hit high in the air into the infield. Having to go back to first base, Kyle Velasquez, unless this drops, and third baseman Hauser will make the catch for the second out. So Ryan Doherty comes in now. Ryan Doherty struck out his last time up, donning number 22 in those pretty sleek black jerseys for the Big Train. I'll have to say myself, I enjoy these jerseys a lot. Black and green bat, green handle. Curveball taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. Runner on first is Kyle Velasquez, and 2 outs. Delivery. Lined towards the second baseman. Comes up on a nasty hop, but easily handled, and the runner is retired for the third out. So the Big Train go down quietly after the hit by pitch with 1 out. It's still 1-1, middle of 4.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy Walker syndrome. Dandy Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that 1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy Walker syndrome. Dandy Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Here at Montgomery Blair Stadium for this matchup between the Big Train and the T-Bolts. Tyler Gallo, Ben Bobek here on Big Train TV. Leading off now is the first baseman, Marcus Brown, who lined out to second his last time up. Baker out there for his 4th inning of work. Delivers the first pitch. And a great pitch there from Baker. Gets a strike, swing and a miss from Brown, and it's 0-1. He hits that one very high and into right field. A long run for the right fielder Gump. He's going to settle into foul territory near the foul pole and makes the catch for the first out. He had to run across an entire county line to get to that ball, but he got it, and there's 1 down.
Yeah, Brady Gump way out there in the trees. I wonder if any of those branches are hanging out into play.
Sure does seem like a little bit the one in near that Collins banner in right field. is, but I'm not sure if the fans can see that. Is
No.
inside pitch there from Baker, and it's 1-0 to the second baseman, Noah Levin, who grounded out to second his first time up. Levin out of George Washington University from Tarzana, California. Native or same hometown as Troy Gloss, former Anaheim Angel. They were the Anaheim Angels back then. Arizona Diamondback and Toronto Blue Jay.
Not the Angels of Anaheim.
Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, California, Anaheim, Los Angeles, whatever you want to call him. He was on that team and quickly gets a 2-1 count here. Gets that strike across to Levin. There's a high ball there for 3-1 count now to Levin. Another 3-ball count for the pitcher.
Yeah, kind of expected to see some bullpen action. Zach Bedford, rather.
That ball is stroked up the middle for a base hit for Noah Levin. He's aboard with a 1-out single.
As I was saying, Zach Bedford was warming up for a while out there.
Matt Bedford.
Matt Bedford. I had it right the first time.
You said Zach.
Thought I said Matt, then I said Zach.
You probably did.
Either way, Matt Bedford.
We're still in early season form. We'll iron in a mid-season form as it gets to mid-season. But for now, Dylan Oxier stands up at the plate. 3-1 is the last time up. Ground out. Flip to first. Baker in his 4th inning of work. Allowed a couple of hits, but scattered them in just 1 run. Delivers first pitch. Straight down the middle for a strike. Right down the pipe.
Throwing to Zach Locke out there in the left field bullpen.
Baker delivers, moving very fast, and it's a strike on the inside half, and it's 0-2. So Oxier from Maryland Eastern Shore. Trying to get this runner over here in any way, shape, or form. Shakes off a couple of signs, does Baker. Sets and delivers the 0-2. Inside, and it gets away, and that's going to get Levin down to second base. I believe that'll go down as a pass ball.
Yeah, it's a pass ball by me.
So 1-2, a very unfortunate ball there from Luke Baker here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Still 1-1. Big Train and T-Bolts are tied. After both teams drove across a run in the 1st inning. Close game in the exhibition game, so no surprise here. A nasty breaking ball strikes out Oxier. And there's 2 down. What a pitch that was. We saw the break. That was hellacious from up here. From down here, excuse me.
11-5 drop off on that one. Filthy slider from Luke Baker to get the second out there. And what a big second out that is. Chance to strand another runner in scoring position here for the T-Bolts. The epidemic of leaving runners on board has spread from the big train.
Almost a Adam Ottavino-esque like wiffle ball slider from Luke Baker. That was crazy. That ball's fouled down into the screen by the first base dugout by the left fielder Zach Martin, who was hit his first time up last inning in the 2nd. Or excuse me, last inning in the 3rd. Had to wear one on his back, which is never fun.
No. Those ones in the elbow are probably the ones that, I mean, besides the,
Hand.
Head and neck area.
Strike there from Baker, and it's 0-2 quickly once again. Rearing back here.
Baker did a good job last time. He had the 0-2. Let it get to 1-2, obviously, with that pass ball, but a good job of finishing the count pretty quickly. See if we can do the same thing here.
Baker trying to get this quick strikeout here. Sets and delivers. And it's chopped to the shortstop. Easy enough for Gauthier. Throws out to first. And the runner is out. So
that'll do too.
Quick inning there despite the single from Levin. And Baker gets out of it. 4 innings, just 1 run allowed. And we'll get a couple people out here on the field as we will set you guys down.
I think this is a race around the bases. Here we go. One kid from the left, the other from the right.
I'll let you call this.
Red and blue wearing number 7. They're both around their first respective bases. What happens when they meet in the middle out there at second? Are they going to cross? Red is first to second. Here he comes. This one's going to be tight all the way down the stretch. Red rounding third. He's got the lead. Heading to home. It's going to be, blue falls down. So unfortunate there is red in a landslide as blue takes a tumble on the first base path down the stretch, holding his knee. What an unfortunate fall there from an otherwise greatly contested race.
And
this
looks
one's
like we're
not
having
as
another
exciting. I like the little kids more. These kids are too old to be doing
That's a
this.
career-ending injury on his knee right there.
Can't be. Oh, wow. These kids are fast.
They're
They're
moving.
churning it. Look at them go. Wearing the mask, too. That is dedication. This one's going to be close. But once again, the runner, or I guess no, runner starting from third around, counter or clockwise, gets the win.
Some mid-inning theater for us here as we head to the break. Big Train coming up in the top half of the inning. Due up for the Big Train, the top of the order, Gauthier, Foster, and Shanuel. We'll see you after the break. New pitcher for the T-Bolts in the top half of the fifth, and it's going to be the right-hander out of UMBC, Kieran Garner, taking the mound, donning number 21. Facing the top half of the Big Train order, Gauthier, Foster, and Shanuel due up. Gauthier is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop-out here, but new pitcher, we'll see what has to happen here.
6'2", hefty, 225, native of Clarksville, Maryland.
That's fouled back by Gauthier in its own one.
River Hill High School, CCBC Catonsville. 3 appearances for the Golden Retrievers. 3 starts, 0-2, 14 innings pitched, a 7.71 ERA, 7 strikeouts.
Garner gets one inside, and it's 1-1.
Should note that was all in the year 2019-2020. No action in 2020-2021.
Garner sets and delivers the UMBC, the Golden Retrievers. If you remember, a couple of years ago, they upset Virginia in the first round of the NCAA basketball tournament, probably the greatest moment in the history of the school. I don't think anything will be topped by that. You know, 2 of my favorite teams in the history of the NCAA are that and Dunk City, Florida Gulf Coast. So, Garner delivers. That is laced into right field. Going back as the right fielder back towards the wall, and he makes a tremendous catch. Mesada on the run reaches out and makes a beautiful catch on the warning track. And Gauthier, a tough third out of the game he's recorded.
Yeah, square in the corner there, right in front of the foul pole down the right field line, and that was just a fantastic catch.
What a play.
Warning tracks, not very forgiving. Gravel here, just like at Povich. You don't want to go to the ground on those. Did a great job by Mesada to track that all the way over there and make the grab for the first out.
Off the bat, that didn't look like it was going to go that far, but it just kept carrying as Garner delivers an inside strike here to Foster in its own one.
Not much wind here tonight at Blair Stadium. Flag out above the firehouse in left field. shimmying a little bit, maybe coming in from left center, if anything, but pretty dead still as the sun starts to set here in Silver Spring.
1-1 now, and we'll have to see how that affects us here in the makeshift booth.
Yeah, it's going to get dark down here.
We'll probably
Should've
still
brought
see
a little,
those.
like,
There's
desk light.
light towers. Foster takes this one and fouls it back, and it's 1-2. On deck now is the Owl Nation member Nolan Shanuel.
Flap those wings, Nolan.
Now, normally that's reserved for Temple guys, but there's no Temple guys on this team, so we'll go to Florida Atlantic.
Or St. Joe's, yeah.
St. Joe's is the Hawks.
The Hawks. Hawk never dies.
It's fouled off
Ooh.
and over the dugout, and a couple of ducks there. As we were mentioning, Hawks. But there's a couple of ducks in the dugout.
All sorts of ornithology.
The study of
Birds,
birds,
owls,
aviary,
hawks.
whatever you want to call it. Kieran Garner has a 1-2 count to Darius Foster.
He's a retriever, not a bird.
That is true. And a Don at the plate. Right down the middle, strike three as Foster is caught looking, and there's 2 outs. So probably the best contact we've seen all day was from Gauthier in that first at-bat.
Yeah, I mean, not counting those couple lineouts from either side to the second baseman.
And now Shanuel.
Those were both pretty solid, but here's a guy who can make some contact himself.
That's right. Nolan Shanuel has made a lot of contact this season. Just want to shout out to everyone watching right now, as that's a nasty breaking pitch from Kieran Garner. And it's 0-1.
Always sending love to our players' families and friends. Those down in Florida supporting number 23 in
That
black.
ball's crushed down the right field line, but that's going to go foul and into the trees. So gave it a ride, just a little bit too far to the right as that extends beyond the mooring that's in right field, the foul pole.
Slight grimace there from Shanuel coming back to the plate. Knew he had a pitch to hit there and just jumped it a little too quickly there, but absolutely crushed into the woods. See if he can keep one fair.
Kieran Garner flashing a smile, much like Springer did, his counterpart. Inside, strike three, and that's back-to-back looking strikeouts. Shanuel didn't like that one. He'll talk about it a little bit, but the side is retired. Back-to-back looking Ks for Kieran Garner. A couple of rides, but nothing doing here for the big train here in the top half of the fifth. We'll see you for the bottom half. New pitcher for the big train as Justin Carboni, who's 1 for 2, stands in, and it's going to be Matt Bedford. Now 2/3 of the killer bees out of that bullpen are going to play today. Baker got the start. Matt Bedford comes in to relieve him. And it was a pretty solid game for Luke Baker regardless of the traffic on the base paths.
Yeah, only gave up a couple hits, the 1 run. Both pitchers have allowed, plenty of action, plenty of traffic as this one runs inside and picking up right where Luke Baker left off. sends him down to first with a hit by pitch. As I
So
was saying, both pitchers have allowed a decent amount of traffic as we get one more car on the road. But not a lot of, obviously only one batter from each side has crossed home plate for a run.
not able to exit the cul-de-sac are these runners, as Bedford gets that quick one. One of the Notre Dame guys, a couple of Notre Dame guys on this team. Danny Nerai not here yet, obviously. So that's grounded to the third, could be two. Second for one, back to first, and that's high and did not stay on the bag. So the lead runner is out, but reaching on the fielder's choice is Dale Hauser.
Yeah, that's a good play all around. I guess it was Pepe who came in, charged it. And especially Shawnul preventing that one from sailing to the backstop. You just got the runner at second. You don't want to allow the next guy to get there on the very same play.
So now it'll be Christian Mesada, who's 1 for 1 with a single and an RBI. He got hit by pitch. Bedford delivers first pitch on the outside half, and it's ball one.
Good break on that one from the righty. Two-seamer, four-seamer, slider, and change. That one certainly looked like the two-seam fastball for the righty. St. Peter's, Staten Island guy.
Grounded down the third base line. That's going to be a fair ball going all the way into the corner, and the two runners on base can run for days. Rounding third and heading for the plate is Hauser. He's going to score, and settling in at third base with a stand-up triple is Christian Mesada, his second RBI of the day, and the deadlock is broken just in the absolute perfect spot for that one to be a triple. And the run comes around to score.
Looked like it got caught in that fence down there in left field, too. Foster had a little bit of a tough time getting it out.
So it's 2-1 now. The T-Bolts have the lead, and I believe it's the first time the Big Train have trailed all season long.
You would be correct in that, Mr. Gallo.
Bedford not greeted nicely coming out of the pens. That ball is crushed into left field. Going back is Foster on the track. He reaches down and makes a tremendous catch. Or does he not make a catch? I'm not sure.
I think he caught that.
I thought he caught that ball, but we'll have to see.
I think he caught it, and Mesada just tagged up. 2 outs now.
So, yeah, 2 outs, just a tremendous running
no chance
catch.
for Foster to even get off a throw there with how far back towards the fence. I mean, that one had some serious cut. You can see where Foster's playing out just between the end of the firehouse and that light pole in left field, and he had to come all the way maybe to 10, 15 feet within the foul pole there in left field.
So now up to the plate, it looks like we have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Bryce Beamer standing in for Connor Palmieri at the dish. No one on now and 2 outs on the sacrifice fly by by Jason Neff. That ball is hit pretty high up into right field, but settling under it is the right fielder Gump, and he'll make the catch to his higher side, but not after 2 runs come across the score for the T-Bolts. They lead it by 2 heading into the top half of the 6th inning. Out here for another inning of work, staked to a 2-run lead is Kieran Garner, as Rocco Pepe will be the first man to face him in the bottom of the 6th, or the top of the 6th, excuse me. 1 for 2 with a single today was Pepe. Try to fare the same in this at-bat. That's in the dirt, the breaker, and it's 1-0. Couple of tough runs allowed, but a couple of great catches in this game by the right and left fielders, respectively. As Pepe grounds that one down the third base line, that's going to be a fair ball going into the corner. Pepe rounding first, heading for second, and that might be another one as that goes all the way to the wall. Pepe, the throw comes in. It is going to be offline, and he's going to be safe at third, and that's back-to-back innings with a triple as Rocco Pepe is now 2/3 of the way for the cycle, and he gets in there, gives it right back.
Got the hardest one down, too. Looks like we're going to have a quick discussion, maybe see if they can double-check this. Umpire doesn't seem very happy about having to converse with Brock Hunter or Corey Algood, Justin Riggin, whichever one of the 3 Silver Spring-Takoma coaches is out there.
Definitely looked fair to me.
I don't think it's Hunter.
No, not Hunter. So Pepe aboard at third for Matt Thomas. So triples in consecutive half innings.
Don't see that very often.
You don't see too many triples
in
general. The rarest hit, of course. So Matt Thomas stands in with a runner in scoring position and trying to break that epidemic that has been plaguing them this entire game. Just
the second time tonight that the Big Train have had a runner on third with nobody out.
That's a strike on the outside
hitter. See if they can do any better than they did when Kyle Velazquez was 90 feet away back in the second inning.
And now anything will score him. Fly ball, deep fly ball, ground ball, wild pitch, pass ball, whatever you want to say. As that ball gets away, and like I just said, the wild pitch there allows Pepe to come in to score, and it's a 3-2 game.
You know what? Good for Pepe. I didn't know if he had the speed in him to reach third.
I mean, with a name like Pepe, you got to have some speed, right?
Pep in his step, like I said before.
You like that phrase.
It flows off the tongue, you know.
So Matt Thomas now with no runners on. 3-2 the score. That's up at his head. And it's 2-1. Thomas ducking out of the way of that ball. On deck, Jack Cohn.
Scored a wild pitch, by the way, for those keeping track at home.
And no RBI on that, right?
No, I don't believe so.
So it's 3-1 now to Matt Thomas. He's got a perfect count where he wants him. Got Garner exactly where he wants him. As Thomas hits one high and deep into center field. Going back is the right fielder, Mesada back at the wall. Is gone. Goodbye. Matt Thomas with his first home run of the year. And the Big Train have tied this game up at 3. Hit that one right towards the light tower in right center. And Thomas can round the bases happy as the Big Train have tied this one up. So 2/4 of the way to the cycle for hitters in this inning. The 3-bagger and the home run. Matt Thomas will celebrate with his teammates as he heads to the dugout. What a shot.
Standing ovation from the Big Train dugout as Mr. Thomas walks back there. It felt like only a matter of time until he got his stroke flowing. Tough start to the season for Matt Thomas, those exhibition games, but he, especially over the last couple innings of yesterday's game and obviously here tonight, he's really found it. And if he is humming the way that Sean Yule and Rocco Pepe, obviously, as we just saw, I mean, that 3-4-5 for the Big Train batting order, deadly.
Breaking ball in there for a strike as it's 1-1. So Kieran Garner staked to the lead here in this inning, gives it right back with a triple and a home run and a wild pitch.
I mean, the heart of that order can be a locomotive that can steamroll anybody.
Absolutely, as Jack Cohn hits this one on the ground to second base. Going to be a tough play, but the throw is in time. A nice quick throw there by the second baseman, Levin. And there is one out now. Finally one out. So Thomas's home run, I mean, that ball was crushed over near the 357 sign and that light tower in right center. Standing in at the dish now is Kyle Velasquez with a double and hit by pitch thus far, 1 for 1. Ducks out of the way of the breaking ball, but that's in there for a strike. Garner gets this sign now. The 0-1 offering. Up and in, and that is going to bend in for a strike. What a breaking ball this guy's got. Kieran Garner on the mound. And it's 0-2 is another smile out of the batter, Velasquez, who knew he got fooled there.
Smile from Garner, too. Big grin from the big guy on the mound.
From the bearded righty out there on the mound. Not quite Dallas Keuchel, but here's the pitch. And swing and a miss. So 3 straight strikes there from Garner. Gets Velasquez swinging, and Gump has nobody on here, 0 for 2.
Just pumping it by Kyle Velasquez there. Little nod, little shake of the head walking back to the dugout. He knew. Overmatched there just with the stuff of Kieran Garner.
So Garner delivers another breaking ball in there for a strike, and he's just spinning that pitch right now. Garner has an 0-1 count. It's a fastball, and that's back towards us, and we have to duck out of the way there. Closest we've been to getting a hit today is that ball was nearly towards us.
Not nearly. It was straight at us.
So 0-2 now with 2 outs.
Crack, too.
If he keeps the inning alive, Ryan Doherty would be next as an ambulance leaves the fire station. Garner delivers outside.
I think it's going back in.
It's 1-2. Or backing into the other garage. It pulled out of a garage, pulled a little bit out, and backed in. Garner sets and deals. Breaking ball in there for strike 3 called. What a pitch that is for Kieran Garner as he gets 2 straight strikeouts and a ground out after allowing the 2 runs to come in to score. The game is tied at 3, middle of 6. And we will have a word from our sponsors after this.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy-Walker syndrome. Dandy-Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Back here at Montgomery Blair Field is Bedford in for his second inning of work. He's facing off against Marcus Brown, who flew out his last time up. He also lined out. Gets the quick strike in there on the first baseman. He delivers the 0-1 offering as that ball is cut on a miss for a strike, and it's 0-2. So, tie game once more. Seen that pretty much for the majority of the game tonight.
As it should be. I think these teams have been playing pretty evenly
as a high fastball swung on a miss there for Marcus Brown, and there's one down.
High cheese there from Matt Bedford.
Gets that Gorgonzola in there up, and out goes Marcus Brown.
Something strong, something stinky. Marcus Brown with a little lactose intolerance to that cheese. One out.
So now standing in is Levin, who is 1 for 2 with a single. He also got the second on a pass ball. That was back in the 4th. So the home run totals this season, 4-1 in favor of you.
Yeah, congratulations. You finally got one.
Yeah, and they can.
We were wondering if it would ever happen.
They can rest their bats now. Got that one out of the way as Levin, 1-1 count now here in the bottom of the 6th from Bedford. Delivers outside, 2-1. That's outside, and the count runs to 3-1. Bedford delivers. That is low, and it's taken for strike 2. So the count runs full here, and the scoreboard says there's 4 balls, which is never something that is true in any count. They fix it now. It's 3-2 as Bedford looking for a big pitch here. Outside, way outside, and reaching base via the walk is No. 11, who's on base for the second time.
First walk issued by Matt Bedford. Actually, by my count, first walk issued by any big train pitcher tonight.
You would be correct. No walks
Control.
thus far. Couple hit by pitches, though.
Yeah, I was about to say control hasn't necessarily been the issue, but not necessarily true.
So Dylan Oxer stands in, who trying to erase his 0 for. He's 0 for 2 today. Struck out his last time up on a dissecting from Luke Baker. In the dirt, and it's 1-0. Bedford gets the sign. Runner on first is Levin. He delivers the pitch. It's in the dirt again, and it's 2-0. So Bedford trying to get a quick strike here on Oxier. Sets and delivers. That's popped high up there, and that's going to go out of play into the stands.
Straight behind us. We'll see where it ends up.
A couple people running around scattering to get that ball.
Souvenirs on the loose.
Bedford now closer to setting down Oxer here as he delivers the pitch. Taken for a strike, and a good pitch there on the outside half from Bedford, and it's 2-2. Bedford checks over at Levin at first base with 1 out. He delivers a 3-2 count, and it's grounded to third. No chance to get the runner at second, but the throw to first is in time. So the fielder's choice there gets the second out for the big train, and standing in now is Zach Martin.
Yeah, you're okay with that. Obviously, don't necessarily need to be as worried about the lead runner when you can get that second out. Pepe playing in on the grass there, cheated up a little bit, maybe in slight anticipation of a bunt from Oxier.
Now, would you give that a sacrifice on that play? You got the runner over to second?
Yeah, I guess you could say sacrifice fielder's choice.
So Bedford now with 2 outs, and at the plate is, as hoping for a play there, heading in towards the dugout, is the third baseman Pepe, but no dice.
No play there.
Didn't get to roll the Yahtzee he wanted on that play, getting that ball. Zach Martin fouls it off. Martin up for the 3rd straight inning, which is pretty interesting. Oh, that is incorrect. I am just in the wrong column.
I was about to say. Really don't want to burst your bubble there, Tyler, but don't know if that's correct.
Well,
strike pumped by him there.
I'll learn to cross out my columns better. Yelling at.
What do you say, 1-7, huh?
Yelling at
say?
Martin from the dugout as he's got a runner on scoring position. He chops that one to second base, settles into the mitt of Velasquez, and the easy throw to first gets him in time. So no runners come across despite the leadoff walk, or the 1-out walk, and the Big Train and T-Bolts are tied at 3.
So for the Thunderbolts, there were no runs on no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on.
Back here at Montgomery Blair Stadium is Garner in for his 3rd inning of work here, and standing in is Ryan Dougherty, who is 0 for 2 today in the designated hitter spot. He struck out and grounded out. And it looks like, I believe Bryce Beamer is going to take over behind the plate, if I'm not mistaken.
Coach Sal like us. Just wanted to double check on that. Can't see the number through Beamer's backstrap. Just wanted to know who's back there.
And the delivery from Garner, taken for a strike by Dougherty. Garner sets and delivers. Strike 2. And it's 0-2 quickly to Dougherty. Dougherty takes one low, and it's 1-2. The 1-2 offering from Garner. Low and inside, about the same spot last time. And it's 2-2, evening up the count. 3-3 the score here in the top of the 7th. Big Train got a home run from Matt Thomas as Dougherty fouls that one back and that nearly hit Austin Gauthier in the on-deck circle. Scary moment there, but Gauthier's fine and flashes a smile. A lot of fun going on here tonight, even though that wasn't certainly going to be a fun moment if it connected.
Gets a grin back from Ryan Dougherty at the plate.
So the 2-2 again from Garner. Comes high and delivers. Crushes that ball foul down the left field line, and it's out of play.
Narrowly misses the light pole.
Light tower power, but not exactly the light tower power he was searching for in that situation. 0 for 2 once again Dougherty is today with a strikeout and a ground out. Can erase that here as they'll go over the signs again, trying to step off of Garner, but instead it'll just go back. Throws the pitch inside, and it's full count. So tremendous at-bat here by Dougherty, working back from 0-2, gets it all the way to full count offering.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, when you're struggling a little bit at the plate, needing to adjust, sometimes just working a count like that can really help as he fouls this one back again.
Dougherty will step back and take a few breaths and readjust the batting gloves as he'll stare down Garner once more. Again, like you mentioned before, we're seeing the thinness of this bench. No pinch hitters thus far today, and I don't think they're going to have any. That's fouled back right towards us.
I mean, that hit somebody.
So there's a new first baseman we've just heard.
So I think it's the catcher remained the same. And Palmera is still behind the plate.
No, because Palmera is 33, and I see a 4, and that would be Bryce Beamer. And the first baseman is now Jacob Orr, which he is now in for Marcus Brown. So not sure what's up with Marcus Brown, maybe just getting the rest of the night off, and that's taken for strike 3 called. They'll throw it around the horn as the roster card turns over and Austin Gauthier stands in. So Jacob Orr in at first base, number 18. And, yeah, after Brown struck out that last inning, didn't look too happy with himself, so he might have been removed from the game. Showing the bench off here for this team. Breaking ball for a strike, and it's 1-1 to Gauthier, who is 0 for 3 today, a strikeout and 2 flyouts. Swings and fouls that one, and it's 1-2. And he swings and misses for strike 3. Another around the horn play, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for Kieran Garner.
Yeah, Garner really starting to show off the strikeout stuff here. 3 innings of work for him. Already 6 strikeouts, 2 per inning. And looking to get a third here with Foster coming to bat.
Doing his best Noah Carbajal impression from yesterday, who did yeoman's work out there on the mound. More yeoman's work out there is needed today from Kieran Garner here in his 3rd inning of work. But Foster standing in, he'll try to throw him off a little bit. 2 singles and a strikeout today, 2 for 3. And his 2 singles were hit to the exact same spot on the infield, and he stole a couple of bases.
Exact
Taken
same
for a
spot to the infield, by which you mean the first baseman's mitt.
I'm so glad the dugout umpires are calling the strikes for us, because we know when they say yup. That being said, Darius Foster has an 0-1 count to work with here. Swings and misses, and it's 0-2, and more yups coming from the dugout.
Pretty animated crowd here at Blair Stadium. Definitely enjoying the first night back for the
And
T-Bolts.
swing and a miss. Struck out the side to Kieran Garner. What an inning. As he'll amble off the mound and get congratulations from his team. His 7th strikeout of the night.
No stretching needed for Kieran Garner. He's all warmed up, ready to roll. Middle of the 7th at Blair Stadium.
As the crowd rocks out to some Queen here at Montgomery Blair Stadium, Matt Bedford's going to look to remain king out here on the mound as he goes up against Justin Carboni. Leads off this inning. The leadoff hitter is 1 for 2 today. Swings and misses on a good breaking pitch.
Strikeout swinging in the first. Singled, advanced all the way to third in the third. Hit by pitch and called out on a fielder's choice. Back in the fifth. We're going to spark something here in the bottom of the seventh. Both teams starting to run low on outs as they look for some offense here. Potentially grab a lead.
Sits back on that one and hammers it foul. Bedford's got an 0-2 count here on the leadoff hitter, Carboni. Swings and misses on the big fastball there. Some good old country hard ball from Matt Bedford. Brings out the express lane, much like on 95. He gets the strikeout there. Maybe not at 95.
I think I smelled some Roquefort on that cheese from Matt Bedford. Whatever it was melted because that thing was hot.
Just sizzled in there for strike 3. Nothing Carboni could have done about that one, but now it's Dale Hauser at the dish, who is 1 for 2 with a couple of sacrifices and fielder's choices, but he reached on a fielder's choices. That's taken inside for a strike, and it's 0-1. Pumping right now, Bedford. Oh, and 1 here is another breaker for a strike, and it's 0-2, and Bedford has to jump high for that throw back from Matt Thomas.
Nobody on base, not as much worry about that one, but still want it to end up pretty safely in your glove no matter what.
Absolutely, as he gets an 0-2 sign from Thomas, sets up low, and here's the pitch. That's cracked down the first base side, but that's going to be foul. And not quite out of play, but it one hops the foul fence.
More balls, please, says the home plate umpire.
Bottom of the 7th. Still 3-3 the score. Couple of runs in the 6th for the big train, a couple of runs in the 5th. That's going to swing and a miss. And Thomas will throw the runner out at first. So this back-to-back strikeout. 2-3 put out. For out number 2. Matt Thomas getting that one pretty easily over there, Ben.
Yep. Hopping over 2 steps inside fair play, making sure he's got the right angle for the throw down to Shawnuel at first. Oh.
That ball came up and in and hit him up high. Mesada's going to go down to first base, and Bedford misses there. I was making a score. Where did that hit him? Did it up in the head?
Yeah, I think that cracked the helmet.
Luckily, it hit helmet and not skull, because that's or face, because never want to see something like that.
It's what you wear them for.
Absolutely is. A painful runner on first right now, but Mesada looks none worse for the wear. After Garner struck out the side, Bedford was on his way to that before hitting the batter, and there's a strike number 1 to Jason Neff, the designated hitter, who drove in a run on a sacrifice fly earlier in this one, but he's 0 for 3. Excuse me, 0 for 2. Or 0 for 1, whichever you want. If you count sacrifice flies in at bat, 0 for 1, because he's got hit by the pitches last time. Mesada checked in on it first, but he's not going anywhere. Still 0-1 count now to Jason Neff. Montgomery Blair Stadium. It's settling into a pretty nice evening as a couple of planes fly overhead. Bedford gets a breaker in there, swing and a miss from Neff, and it's 0-2.
Beautiful breaking ball there from Matt Bedford. Good cut, almost almost like 10-4 on that one. Probably technically 11-5. That thing had some wicked split on it.
Just a nasty pitch there from him. And that's taken on the outside half, and it's 1-2.
Really
close.
good pitch there.
Good
Trying to
setup pitch as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to get him to chase on the outside corner. Just missed maybe a ball or two off. Maybe a ball or two low as well.
So this is pretty interesting. Bryce Beamer in his shin guards on deck.
Yep. That's what you got to do with 2 outs. Keep the
That's in
line
the dirt.
moving. As we head towards 9 o'clock here.
Settled
5 minutes
into a
shy.
pretty nice evening while it is a bit cloudy out here. Still nice outside, nice and cool.
Not as dark as I'd expect down here in the nether regions of Blair Stadium.
The underbelly, whatever you want to call it. We're under some bleachers.
Definitely getting enough of those outfield lights for me to be able to see the book.
So Bedford's got a 2-2 count now. And gets that breaker in there. Strike 3, swinging. Neff goes down, and Bedford gets out of it after the hit by pitch.
That's why Bemer kept the shin guards on.
So, yeah, we'll see you. We'll have a word from our sponsor, the Dandy Walker Alliance, and we'll see you for the top half of the 8th.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy Walker syndrome. Dandy Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Kieran Garner's night is done after 7 strikeouts and 3 innings of relief, despite giving the home run to Matt Thomas. The new pitcher is Evan Lewis out of the not out of the Evan Lewis School, out of the Louisiana Tech University, and they are the Texters, not T-E-X-T-E-R-S. It's T-E-C-H, like Louisiana Tech. Leading off is Nolan Shanuel.
Rising. Ooh, go ahead.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
I was going to say rising sophomore at Louisiana Tech next season.
Spins
Fun fact, he has met Johnny Bench.
That is cool.
Wonder if he threw a bullpen session with him or not.
Spins a breaker outside, and it's 1-0. Standing on deck is Rocco Pepe, and in the hole is Matt Thomas, who homered earlier today. Shanuel holding that high motion.
This is the
Swings
part
and
of the
misses.
Big Train roster batting order. I can really get to you. Would be an impressive inning here for Lewis facing 3-4-5.
Absolutely, and there's some
And
pitchers
navigate it safely.
there's pitchers that always say, give me 2-3-4, give me 3-4-5, and maybe Lewis is one of those, but for now it's 1-1 to Shanuel. Outside half, and it's 1-2. Shanuel not appreciating that call too much like we saw earlier in the game. Now the 1-2 pitch from Shanuel is swung on a miss, strike 3. So Shanuel is down, and that's 4 consecutive strikeouts for Big Train batters.
Evan Lewis picking right up where Kieran Garner left off. This is a Big Train offense that doesn't strike out much. They're disciplined, like to choose their pitches. They've gotten blown by in the last couple innings.
So here's Rocco Pepe, who tripled his last time up and came around to score on a wild pitch as a breaker's in there for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Beautiful little breaking ball there.
Pepe is 2 for 3 today, single and a triple. Delivers inside for a strike. That breaking ball is just nasty. So a lot of good breaking balls on this staff. Garner and Lewis. We saw a couple from Springer as well.
Certainly no lack of stuff for this pitching staff.
He delivers. That is halved up the first base side. It's going to be a tough play, but the easy amble over to the bag from the first baseman. First baseman, Jacob Orr. And there's 2 down. Excuse me, Darren Miller has now taken over at first base.
Now batting the catcher, Matt Thomas.
So Matt Thomas is up, homered his last time up. Miller or Beamer will lead off next inning as that's in there for a ball, and it's 1-0. 3-U on that one at first base. One of my favorite scores because it's just so weird. Even though it's not technically weird. Lewis sets and delivers. Outside strike, and it's 1-1.
What did the ambulance say as it was keeping score at the baseball game?
3-U.
3-U, 3-U, 3-U.
Can we mute your microphone on that
You
one?
can try.
Well, Lewis has got a 1-1 count now. That is fouled back towards the screen, reached for that one, and it's 1-2. Very spacious outfield at this ballpark. That's what I've noticed.
A lot of room to run out there.
Despite it being relatively short down the lines, that's taking for a ball, and it's 2-2.
It's wide.
It's a lot similar. The distance is a lot similar in left, obviously, to Citizens Bank Park, where I think it's 329 down the left field line, and then Fenway, where it's 315 down the line, pretty close to the pesky pole, but not quite pesky in this situation.
What's Yankee, 320?
I believe so, as that's outside, and the count has run full to Matt Thomas, who's worked up a good at-bat here. Chopped up the middle, going to be a tough play. Going over to his right to make the play there is Dylan Oxshire, and that'll retire the side. So shades of Ozzie Smith out there in the infield as he throws out the runner, and the side is retired.
Acrobatic play in the hole there, and he earned that out.
So we will see you for the bottom half of the 8th inning. It is still 3-3. Bedford on for a 4th inning of action, and he'll go to battle with the catcher, Bryce Beamer, who came in as a pinch hitter back in the 5th inning. See what he can do here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Still 3-3 as he hits that breaking ball right back to Bedford, who will settle in and fire to first for the first out. Easy 1-3 there for Bedford, just bounced right into his mitt.
Yep. Always loves to see a pitcher. They checking the baseball?
Oh, they're just getting a new one. So now Darren Miller.
No spider tack on that.
I don't know how to answer that.
All right, Garrett.
Darren Miller up to the plate now. He is in for Marcus Brown. They announced it as Jacob Orr, but I believe it's always been Darren Miller at first. Strike there on the inside half, and it's 0-1 from Bedford.
That's an interesting call, Tyler. I don't know if that one cut off the plate or what, but it looked like a ball or two inside.
Hellacious breaking pitch there from Bedford, and it's 0-2.
I mean, that's a great pitch on the outside edge. I don't know if maybe our angle is wrong, but it certainly looks like the strike zone is a ball or two shifted to the inside.
That's popped back and foul by
for a
Miller.
right-handed hitter.
Miller out of Millersville. How about that? That's actually pretty funny. But yeah, the strike zone does.
Miller had a good game in that exhibition game. 2 strikeouts, reached on a fielder's choice, and then how about a home run in the 7th inning?
Reaches for one and yanks it foul.
Out of Millerville.
Millersville.
The
Marauders.
Millersville Marauders.
I almost went there, but it's also in the middle of nowhere. The outskirts of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, I believe it is. It's up high, and it's 2-2.
Lancaster, not Lancaster.
Lancaster.
For anyone who might be listening, Lancaster. The things you learn when going to school in the state of Pennsylvania.
The things you learn when you have a friend that lives in Lancaster. Cam, I don't think you're listening, but if you are, what's up? Swings and misses for strike 3, so another cut and a miss by a first baseman in this game. Back-to-back strikeouts from that spot in the order, and now no 11 with 2 outs. It is in Millersville, Pennsylvania, which, if you don't really know where it is, probably won't know.
11 from the left-handed batter's box. Looks like we'll have a pinch hitter on deck, too, for Gauthier, Tommy Dunleavy.
Yeah, Dunleavy up on deck.
Dunleavy.
Not Mike Dunleavy.
Dunleavy started out in the outfield in that exhibition game, and then came in to pitch, was it the 8th? I think it was the 9th, just the 9th. Nice
Ben's in there for a strike. I believe that was a changeup from Bedford, and it's strike 1.
Low, just over the knees. Beautiful pitch.
Home of the Blair Blazers we're at tonight.
Yes.
Swing and a miss, and it's strike 2, and Bedford is right where he wants to be with 2 strikes and 2 outs. And coming up next inning would be Cone, Velasquez, and Gump, who haven't only 1 hit amongst them tonight, but could change that with 1 swing of the bat. But for now, Bedford dealing with 11 here at the dish. The 0-2 offering. Outside, ball 1. Sizzled outside, though.
Yeah, that one had some
late life.
Yep, sure, that works. Better than whatever I was going to come up with anyway, so we'll stick with that.
That's one off the pitcher, Bedford, who's going to flip to first for the out, but way to stay with it and get the painful out for Bedford, thrown straight up in the air by first baseman Shanuel. Bedford through 4 scoreless. We'll see you for the top half of the 9th inning. Looking for some hits here for the big train as they roll into the final station of the night.
New pitcher on for the top of the ninth here for the T-Bolts as we take a look around the rest of the Cal Ripken Collegiate League scores. Top of the seventh down in Alexandria, the Gaithersburg Giants leading over the Aces 8-6. Obviously 3-3 here in Silver Spring-Takoma. And the DC Grays and the South County Braves made it through 3 innings before that game was suspended due to rain down in Norton, Virginia. Here's Tyler Gallo for the 9th inning and the close of this one here in Silver Spring.
The new pitcher is the phantom first baseman, Jacob Orr. Takes on, throws out a ball outside now, and standing up is Jack Cohn. Cohn is 0 for 3. Fouls that one back, and it's 1-1. On deck is Kyle Velasquez, who had that charge double a couple innings ago. Actually, way back in the second, if you can believe that. Moved pretty fast, this game has, as we settle in just past
that now.
the 9 o'clock hour. 3/4 delivers fouled back right at us. I didn't flinch on that one.
No, you did not.
I am very surprised. But it is still 3-3. Cone trying to maybe connect with one here. Delivers. Did he go? They'll check at first or at third, and he did not go, says the third base umpire. Tomorrow night, obviously, we'll be on the call at home at Povich Field for the home opener for the Big Train as they get ready to take on. Who are they playing tomorrow? I believe that's hit right back, and that's going to be another 1-3. That's three 1-3s in the past 2 innings. We'll get back to schedule in just a second. As I blanked my mind for a second there, is a 1-3 put out for the pitcher, Jacob Orr.
South County Braves making the trip up from Lorton.
Hoping for better.
Hoping for more than 3 innings tomorrow night, knock on wood.
Should be.
Grab your head there for a little bit.
That's not fair. We'll be excited to call that from the confines of our own booth tomorrow after starting the season on the road. But we've been so happy to call these games regardless, and we're happy that you guys are listening. Gets the bunt down, but it goes foul. Velasquez trying to sneak one past the catcher and the pitcher.
Just trying to get base runners here. Can't score without getting somebody on.
Brady Gump is on deck. Seen generally the same lineups and not much more that Coach Sal could do.
Not much flexibility when it comes to that short bench down there.
Yeah, and it's almost nobody on the bench, which is why Thomas has had to play catcher. And Dougherty has to be the designated hitter.
Velasquez has some experience in this sort of pressure situation. He told us that one of his favorite memories in baseball, one of his most significant accomplishments, was hitting a walk-off in a California playoff game on his grandfather's birthday.
Would he love to replicate that here, but instead he goes down swinging, and there's 2 down quickly. That'll bring up Brady Gump, who's 0 for 3 today. Bottom half of the order just not getting it done for the Big Train tonight.
Still time to improve on that and play hero here. But got to do what they did so well in the first inning, what they did so well yesterday, and just move the line for the next batter. Ooh.
That's
one
inside,
way
and it
to
hits
do it.
Brady Gump on the back.
No flinch in Brady Gump. I think I flinched more on that than he did.
On the back, like Forrest Gump did to Bubba in the movie. Carried him out. But he's down at first base now, and Ryan Dougherty has a runner on. 0 for 3 today with a pair of strikeouts. Dougherty's put a charge into a couple to this season. Batting here in the 9th spot, listed as a pitcher. Gump at first base and 2 outs. Or the 3/4 delivery is fouled back towards us again. I've gotten used to the motions now, so I haven't had to duck out of the way recently.
No comment.
I'll say that, and of course it'll happen again, and I'll jump out of the way. But for now, 0-1 to Ryan Dougherty. On deck is the leadoff hitter, Austin Gauthier, 0 for 4. And that one pops in the zone. for strike 2. Just getting tough luck here for Ryan Daugherty. That's all you can really say. It's been a lot of tough luck outs tonight for the Big Train and for the T-Bolts in general.
Been a really competitive game. It's been absolutely a fun one to watch, fun one to bring you here on Big Train TV.
Outside, and it's 1-2, and absolutely what you'll see from two of the better teams in this league.
Two of the better teams, two of the teams that will see each other often. Like we mentioned, 8 games on the schedule between these two clubs. 5 of them here at Blair Stadium. We're going to get pretty used to this little cave of ours.
So that is a nice attempt at a frame by Beamer, but it's outside, and it's 2-2. They'll check back with the umpire.
It was good to know where it missed. Just going to work on it next time.
The 2-2 offering now to Ryan Daugherty. Runner goes. Inside, strike 3, no need for a throw down, and that'll ring up Ryan Daugherty looking for his 3rd strikeout of the day. So Lewis gets out of it, gets out of a 2-out runner, and now bottom of the 9th coming up, the bottom half of the order coming up for the Silver Spring-Takoma T-Bolts. We'll see you after the break. Taking over for the Big Train on the mound, trying to get this one to extra innings is Zach Locke, and he'll deal with Gauthier, Martin, and Carboni. So Gauthier out of Maryland Eastern Shore, like we've mentioned before. Stand in against Locke, who is a dirtbag himself, out of Long Beach State.
5'10", 160. We'll celebrate his birthday here in 11 days.
Got that stop and start motion, like we mentioned in the exhibition game, those of you who've been tuned in for every game.
Keeps those hands high.
That's in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Pops the zone with that fastball.
Fastball, slider, changeup, and a curveball make up the arsenal for Zach Locke.
So 4 innings of 2-run ball for Matt Bedford, and Locke takes over for him here. That's up and in, and strike. That one bent into the zone. Just a nasty breaking pitch. Not much more Gauthier could have done with that one, and it's 0-2.
I think that might have just been a hefty breaking changeup.
He's got some nice movement on his pitches as we head almost towards 9:30 here in Silver Spring. Some flashes of heat lightning out there in the outfield. That's in the dirt, and it's 1-2. Big Train went down quietly in the top of the 9th, hit by pitch, but a couple of strikeouts and an unassisted or a 1-3 put out And that is 3 consecutive zeros. Not scored since the 6th inning. That's popped back and into the screen. Always wary of that coming down and hitting us. And it looks like Nigel Calderon is on deck to hit for Zach Martin. But for now, it's Gauthier at the plate. Locke delivers. Fastball. Crushed foul down the right field line and out of play. Just 2 or 3 listed pitchers out of the bullpen now. Braley, Tchaikovsky, and Howitt. Haven't seen any of Everett Catlett yet or Chris Buchholz. As Locke delivers, the breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 2-2.
Really good action on these breaking pitches from Locke. If he can control this and put one in the zone, it'll be a really nice at-bat here for a rising sophomore out of Long Beach State.
The delivery now. Breaking ball fouled back into the screen. And a good turn at bat here from Dylan Gauthier.
Tries him.
Calderon just still waiting to get out on deck.
Tries him with the fastball there. Plenty of pitches. You know, talked about this earlier, I think, with Carboni, the leadoff hitter. But this is a good job by Gauthier of showing some pitches to his guys, especially with a new pitcher coming out of the Big Train pen here.
So Gauthier fighting here against Locke. Delivers. High fastball and foul back.
This one might come down to us.
Waiting, just waiting for the clang on the bleachers.
I think that one maybe went all the way out of the stadium here. Back out towards the softball field at the Blair Blazers Athletic Complex.
So just a couple consecutive fouls here from Dylan Gauthier. Fighting. And the pitch. Hit towards the first base side and through the hole for a base hit, and Gauthier is aboard. And that'll bring up the Rainbow Warrior, Nigel Calderon out of the University of Hawaii.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really tough, sequence for the pitcher, Zach Locke. I think, you're in there, you start him off pretty well. I think it was 0-2 at one point, yeah. And your defense, it's a tough position. I mean, that's right in the most traditional gap between the second base and the first baseman there.
Absolutely, and now the pinch hitter,
break.
Calderon, stands in.
Potential winning run aboard.
Delivery from Locke shows bunt and misses it there. 27, Nigel Calderon. No relation to the excellent free throw shooter Jose Calderon in the NBA. Nigel Calderon with Tommy Dunleavy standing on deck for Carboni.
Ooh, that one was close.
Close check at first base. Infield drawn in a little bit, expecting the bunt here from Calderon. He does square, but that's outside. Didn't offer at it, so it's ball 1. He's in here to get the runner over. Calderon, a rising sophomore out of Lanai High School.
Mainly used as a pinch runner out there on the islands. Only 3 plate appearances.
That's outside for a ball pretty close. Creeping in on the grass and almost at the plate is Rocco Pepe.
So he's listed as a rising sophomore, but he's what's going to become known in the coming years as a COVID redshirt, basically, a COVID sophomore, COVID junior, whatever, because he did make his freshman debut in 2020. Got a couple hits in pinch hitting situations. A big RBI double against Oregon back in 2020.
Boy, would we love to be in Hawaii right now. I've been there before. Pretty nice. Pretty beautiful.
I have not. Definitely on the bucket list.
It's a place where you grow very appreciative of when you go and see it.
How about the 3-sport athlete, Nigel Calderon?
Love to see that. He's got a
Football, basketball, baseball.
He's got a nice kind of mullet going out there.
First team selection in the Maui Interscholastic League in football and basketball, and a 4-time first team selection in baseball.
That's bunted, and it's a foul ball. And that's going to be strike 2, so Calderon now is going to probably have to swing the bat. But you never know.
You never know, especially with a guy like Calderon who clearly has expertise as a situational guy, a good sacrifice guy that you can trust to lay one down and move the runners over. You know, if this Silver Spring-Takoma coaching staff has trust in his ability to put one in between the lines when he needs to, maybe they keep the bunt on just as kind of a way to at least keep Pepe and Shaniel there in the big train defensive corners thinking about it.
Listed as an outfielder on the roster, so we'll see if he comes in for Martin or if Martin remains in the game. We saw Martin as a pinch hitter in the exhibition games. That's in the dirt, and the count is now full to Calderon. Getting some cheers from the fans. So the infield now draws back a little bit, but Pepe still a step in on the grass, expecting the potential bunt, but now moves over towards foul territory and moves back. Trying to confuse, throw a wrench into the plans of Calderon here. So he fouls that one off and into the woods. So a good hefty cut there from Nigel Calderon.
Yeah, Pepe pacing out there at the hot corner, starting about 2 or 3 feet onto the outfield grass, working his way back to the dirt, coming back in, working his way from the foul line in. Just trying to keep his defensive alignment almost masked.
Absolutely.
Make Calderon have to, you know, put down a good one here or just try to swing away.
So he pops that one back, and Calderon fighting here once again. Oxford did it last time and got aboard with a base hit through the hole. Still drawn in a little bit. It's the infield, but hoping for that DP, but you can never know with the speed of Calderon. And he draws a walk, and he turns towards the dugout and pumps him up a bit. So the Lanai City native draws a walk, and now there's 2 runners on. And Carboni's going to take a turn at bat instead of Dunleavy.
Dunleavy back to the dugout. 2 runners on. You want a guy who can possibly put one into the outfield here. Pepe's going to come in. Colangelo will come out, and we may see a pitching change here for the big train with 2 on and nobody out.
Yeah, it looks like Tchaikovsky's going to come in the game, or maybe Braley, one of those 2. Be tough to see if Matt Howitt comes into the game right now, who is listed as available, but maybe just talking it over with Locke here.
Talking over some defensive positioning, things like that. Locke's going to stay in the game. Keeps that ball in his right hand.
Thomas maybe trying to calm him down a little bit here, but Carboni 1 for 3 today with a pair of strikeouts, and sandwiched in between those a single and a hit by pitch. More heat lightning flashes in the outfield. Delivers, tries to get the bunt down, offers at it, and there's a strike.
Can't ask for anything more in this situation than a ground ball and let your fielders do the work here.
Absolutely, and with no outs, certainly something that Locke is looking for. Tries to get the bunt down, and he offered at, or did not offer at that one, and it's 1-1. The high fastball. On deck is Dale Hauser, and he will come up regardless of the situation, unless there's a triple play, which is a bit crazy to me, but you never know in this game of baseball, as it's a ball on the outside half, and Locke is just not hitting his spots here. It's all right, though. He's got him where he wants him, maybe using that as sort of a setup pitch, but I mean, he's offering at the bunt, so Carboni trying to move the runners over. Offers, that's bunted foul and back. Nearly hit Carboni in the face. But now it's 2 strikes. 2-2 now to Locke, and a big out in front of him.
2 strikes now on both the last 2 batters.
We'll see if he's swinging here or if he's still bunting.
Locke just needs 1 pitch to put himself in a much better position here.
He squares, and that's bunted foul, and that's going to go back and out of play. And be strike 3. That clangs above us, as you can probably hear that, but a big first out for Zach Locke.
Now batting for the Thunderbolts is the third baseman, Dale Hauser.
So now Dale Hauser stands in. Hauser is 1 for 3, or 1 for 4, whatever you want to call it. Sacrifice, fielder's choice, coming around to score a couple times. Now first and second and 1 out. Fouled back, 0-1.
Hat trick of strikeout swinging now for Justin Carboni. Not the production Brock Hunter was looking to get out of his leadoff man tonight.
Yeah, hats
still-
have been out on the field for a little bit now.
Still in a pretty good position here. 2 on, 1 out. And a guy who's delivered with a single and scored earlier in the game in Hunter. And I don't think this big train pitching rotation wants to get to Mesada, who stands on deck.
Yeah, Mesada tonight is 2 for 2 with a pair of hit by pitches. And he also made a nice running catch on the warning track in right to rob, I believe it was Gauthier, of a base hit, at least. So that's fouled out of play, and there's 2 strikes once again. So Locke fighting back here. Very surprised no rain here tonight, as it was raining in South County. Did not come up here. That's grounded towards short. Going to go to third and get the force, so the runner is out at third base. On the fielder's choice, Oxier's retired, and a big second out to get as he induces the ground ball, and Mesada comes up to the plate carrying a 2 for 2 line.
Force at any square base, so to say. No chance at a double play to get out of the inning there. Get the lead runner. Make it a little bit easier on your pitching staff here. Just need to get 1, but it's going to be a tough one with Mesada at the plate.
Absolutely. As it's first and second now. As reaching on the fielder's choice is Dale Hauser. But Mesada, donning number 42, hoping to extend his excellent line tonight here. He's not been retired yet. First offering, fouled down the line, and he was on top of that one, but just sent it caroming out of play. The 0-1 now. In the dirt, it gets away, and the runners will move up. So now, second and third, and do you think they might walk Mesada here to get to Jason Neff, who's 0 for 3?
Certainly a possibility. Does not look like it's going to happen. But the winning run, 90 feet away here.
Was that a wild pitch, you say, or was that a pass ball? I think that's a wild pitch. That one bounced. High cheese takes it, and it's 2 or 3 and 1. So they're going to intentionally walk now Mesada to load the bases for Jason Neff, force at any base. Bases loaded and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, and that's motivation if there's ever going to get it. As maybe lineup change here.
So Neff not coming up to the plate.
And just when it could have been motivation, that can be a little demoralizing here. Bases loaded, 1 out, or 2 outs rather. And your coach heads to the bench.
And it's Tommy Dunleavy coming up to the plate. Dunleavy out of East Stroudsburg University from Bushkill, Pennsylvania. That is in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, veteran on this team, rising senior next year.
Dunleavy, we saw bat and pitch in the exhibition games. Of course, stay tuned after this one. About 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes after this one, we'll have Big Train post game for you. But a swing and a miss first. This game's not over quite yet. As Locke gets in there with some cheese, and there's some stirring in the Big Train bullpen, but this is Locke's inning to lose. Here's he's backed himself into a corner with the bases loaded. 0-1 to Dunleavy. Here's the pitch. Strike 2, and it's quickly 0-2 here. So we'll probably see Dunleavy and maybe Calderon in the outfield. After this, never know how the lineup cards go. But for now, it's 0-2 to Dunleavy, staring a big K in the face. Let's see what happens here. The 0-2 offering from Locke. Swing and a miss, strike 3, got him, and Locke gets out of the situation. Bases loaded and 2 outs, and we are going to extra innings. Free baseball coming up next year on Big Train TV. Tyler Gallo and Ben Bobek in our first extra innings game of the season.